Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GRP. Back at it again on a Sunday, back-to-back nights, because last night we had the Watch Party podcast for UFC 319, and we had a fucking blast. It was a fun time. The fights were pretty damn good. Be it what you will say about that main event, it is what it is. I think we had a pretty good night of fights. Of course, we're gonna talk about all of them and get into all of it here in just a minute. That's what we're here to do. But other than that, I'm just happy to be back here right now. A little stressed. I gotta do some traveling for work, so I got a bunch of things I gotta take care of and get together, and it's always stressful when I have to go out of town for work, especially when I'm not exactly sure how long I'm gonna be gone. Either a whole week, a little less than a week, I don't know. But either way, yeah, so you might see me doing the show from somewhere else on Thursday. And who knows, if I don't have nothing else going on, which I don't know why I would, but it just depends on how late I work throughout the days. Who knows, maybe I'll pop in for some hey, what's up, Tersey? Welcome back. Maybe I'll jump in and do some other content in the mix, because I always take all my stuff with me, because like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be there throughout the whole time when I would be doing my show on Thursday. So I got to take everything and be ready. And I do take as much as I can to make it as good of a podcast as I usually do. So thank you for jumping in, Tersey. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the fights on Saturday. I don't think you were in on the watch party, but we had a whole crazy, get a quick listen in while I work again. Oh, hey, what's up, Infinity? Thank you. Appreciate you. We had a whole different kind of fucking Tersey, yeah, that's right. You were there. I forgot. There were so many just random offshoot people in the chat. It was nuts. How was it, Tersey? How was it being there in person? I mean, those knockouts were insane. I loved it because Chimaev dog walked him. Oh yeah. Here's the thing though. Everyone's talking about how boring it was, or how boring that style is, or blah blah blah, when nothing anybody was talking about before was about how boring Khamzat was. It's about, oh, he's a killer, he's unbeatable, he's this, he's that, and now everybody wants to dog on him and act like he's boring as shit. Of course, I'm going to get into it here in just a minute, but I don't know how I feel. I'm going back and forth about it, because it's one of those things, man. But you can't complain too much when it was pure dominance, and sometimes that can be boring, and I get that, especially if you're not getting the knockouts or anything, or the big exchanges. I get that, but you had two fucking back-to-back KOs, like Tersey just said, back-to-back KOs, spinning back elbow KOs that you don't fucking hardly ever see, and that wind up in a highlight reel knockout like that. It's like, come on, man. I mean, pretty soon you're not gonna have any reason to complain, because you're not paying for the shit. They always talk shit about Chimaev no matter what he does. When he kills everyone early, they say no cardio for late. When he dominates 5 rounds, they blame him. Yes, it's Trick's job to get up too. Exactly. I mean, exactly. I was talking about, wondering where Chimaev was with his cardio and stuff like that, because we've seen a couple times where I'm just looking at what I've seen. But I understand what you're saying, and that's why I'm annoyed by this, because it's like, yeah, there's a few things in there I could see that are annoying. There's a few things in there where I question, like, what the fuck was he doing? Why was he doing that? But in the overall perspective of things, he fucking dominated. Like, he goes in, and yeah, he was the favorite, and he showed and proved why he was the favorite, because fucking DDP couldn't do shit. DDP couldn't do anything. He gets up and laughs it off, like, bro, what are you doing? You should be pissed off, and you should be harnessing that fucking anger to turn it into some kind of a fucking defense, and then turn it around into some offense. I don't know, man. The event was awesome, man. I enjoyed the fights, especially the feature prelim fight. Oh, okay. Well, shit. It must have been badass. Oh, you're still there. Well, shit. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, it must have been badass being there. Just watching the videos you get to see on TikTok and other places on social media from people that are in the crowd. It's always dope. Propane. Yeah, we had a lot of propane tank last night. Propane tank talk last night is what I was trying to say. But yeah, we had a good time in here, man. Bob Dole, little Bobby Dole. Yeah, shit, he's funny, man. He's like that undercover funny. I will rewatch your reaction. Oh, okay. Right on. Appreciate that. Yeah, we had a good time, man. There was some weirdness going on in the chat, so we were just having fun with it and laughing about it. But you know, that's the thing about having the chat on the screen is if YouTube kicks it out, the chat still kind of picks it up, so you still see it on the screen, which could be a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? If there's something up there I really don't want, that could be tough. I could just turn it off, but otherwise it's there. So we were having fun with it. It is what it is. There's always going to be some trolls and some stupidity, and of course the damn bots that are spamming the chat with their live stream links that they're trying to send out. But other than that, normal night. We had fun. And yeah, I thought the fights were pretty good, so can't be too upset about it. We had a lot of fun with some Noctane smelling salts, and in the last fight, man, we wound up having to do like a double shot of smelling salts, and that one was tough because we had two bottles next to each other and took a whiff. I don't even know what the hell we did. I think we were saying the double snort. Yeah, it was bad, but I don't even remember what the bet was, but we were just like, yeah, if this doesn't happen, then we got to do this, and so we did it. But yeah, Noctane Smelling Salts, thank you for the sponsorship. I appreciate it. And yeah, I obviously used the shit out of this stuff, and I have the most potent bottle here. I know I'm a broken record, but you know what? Yeah, I'm going to actually check, Terzi. I don't remember what the fight wheel did. I think it went like 4-2. I'll check in just a second. Let me take a little sniff of this here real quick, because I do feel a little worn out. It was a long night, and I did some drinking. So I need to wake up a little bit here. I didn't sleep well either. So let's see what we got. Oh man, gotta get ready. Oh, okay. It wasn't horrible, but I got it. I have a cut on my finger too, and it's burning, and now it's leaking. Damn it. Well, I'm gonna have to clean that up. Oh shit. And because it's leaking, I still smell it. Anyway, get yourself some Noctane. That's the most potent bottle. Oh, you probably watched, if you were watching last night. Bro, I barely slept myself. Oh shit. Sounds like you need some smelling salts. You must have had a good time out there though. But yeah, scan that QR code, hit the link in the description below. Go check out Noctane and get yourself a bottle. They're not that expensive, and they're fun, and they're actually very useful. And I will be using them on my very long drive I'm looking at doing tomorrow for work, which sucks, but it's okay. Anyway, thanks again, Noctane, for that. Let me take a look at the fight wheel real quick. Now that you bring it up, Terzi, I will see. So we had Kaya Sakura winning, which he did not. Lerone Murphy winning, yes, he did. Chimaev winning, yes. Prates winning, yes. And then Cannonier. So 3 out of 5, not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. I don't know why the hell. I don't know. I mean, the Kai one, yeah, you couldn't have called that. That is just, nobody had Elliott. I was arguing. I was a little faded last night, so I was arguing with somebody on Twitter about that. But yeah, nobody had. I mean, who the fuck would have thought that Elliott would have been the one to beat Kaya Sakura like that? It's just crazy. Anyway, but the Cannonier one, I didn't see. I mean, I didn't see that one actually happening. I figured MVP would win. So yeah, fight wheel missed too. Not too bad. So let's get into it, because that's what we're here to do. UFC 319 was last night, and we're here to do a little recap. So let's get started. And we're going to start with, obviously, some takeaways. I already got into talking about it a little bit. I appreciate Terzi for bringing it up and asking the questions, of course, because that's how we get everything started. And yeah, I thought overall it was a good event. King Terzi in the chat was there in person, and he enjoyed himself, said it was a great night. So and the fights were good. So I mean, on TV, obviously it's always different when you're listening to stupid commentary, or if you're listening to a bunch of fools like us. We were having a good time, so I don't know what people might have got from what we were saying or doing, but we were having a good time, and you know, we were watching the fights. It's not like we weren't watching. I'm always watching no matter what, whether if I'm distracted or not, I'm in it. But yeah, I mean, with all the cancellations, you know, we had 3 different fights that got canceled, including a couple that I was really looking forward to. But you know, King Green got canceled against, who the fuck was he fighting? Oh yeah, Diego Ferreira, which I didn't see that really going King Green's way, but I still like to watch King Green fight. And then obviously it was the other Ultimate Fighter finale, which whatever about that one. But the Brian Battle versus Nursultan Ruziboyev fight got canceled because of Battle missing weight and all that bullshit. So that kind of sucked, because you know, two out of those 3 fights I was really looking forward to seeing, and we didn't get to see it. So, but as far as the rest of the night, it went pretty well. I mean, overall we had 1, 2, 3 submission, or yeah, 3 finishes in the prelims, and then we had 3 finishes in the main card. So yeah, I mean, it's not like we had all decisions. It was a good mix of everything, and even the decision fights were pretty damn good. So it wasn't a bad night of fights. And when it comes down to it, I mean, DDP just shit the bed really when it came to, I mean, not really, okay? So like, it's not really his fault. It's just, the thing is Chimaev is that good on the ground, and while he's not taking any chances and just staying on top and holding DDP down because he's big brothering him, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, you can't move. I'm just gonna sit here with my hand on your forehead holding you away because you can't do anything about it. So he did that, except he was on the ground. And while I understand that, sometimes, you know, what are you gonna, is that really how you want your fight career to go? Is just to sit there and, you know, that's where most people have the problem. And yes, of course, if that's what you can do, nobody would complain if it was knocking people out in the first round every time. Nobody would complain about that, because that's exciting. And you know, a lot of people find excitement in the way that Chimaev fought, but you know, most people don't. Dricus was not trying to get up, because if he did, he would have got his neck up. Yeah. And no, I get that. So, but the thing is, it's hard though. A crucifix. A crucifix is one of the hardest things to get out of, but yet you don't see them happen very often anymore, like you used to back in the day. So as you could see, the control was insane by Chimaev. Whether it was Chimaev or not, anybody that knows what they're doing in a crucifix is gonna hold that person down, and they're gonna control them. So yeah, not 5 in a row. You mean like every round? Is that what you're saying, Infinity? But yeah, so that was kind of the problem. And so I see the problem on both sides. It's like Dricus couldn't get up, he was frustrated, couldn't do shit about it. And then Chimaev wasn't doing anything to get the finish. He was just staying there, knowing he could stay there, and he knew that he could dominate there. So you can't blame him for that either. Because of his skill set, he knows what to do. Yes, all the crucifixes, all 5. Okay, yeah, it was crazy, the fact that and also, why wasn't Chimaev like really loading up some big shots? Like, he was just pot shotting him, and you know, not really. I mean, of course it's always gonna do some sort of damage, but it wasn't a ton of damage. So that's what I think was kind of weird, when he's got control of him and he's not doing the most to try to get him out of there. Or I don't know, maybe he just he's playing with his food. That's kind of what it seemed like. So yeah, we'll get more into it as I go. I know I said a lot there about it, but there's definitely more to get into when I hit that fight and I show the visuals. But of course, as always, I like to go from the bottom to the top and talk about the prelim fights as well, and just go over what happened down there, especially when you don't have as many fights as you were supposed to have had when it comes down to it. So let's get into these prelim fights, and we're gonna start with that Ultimate Fighter finale in the men's flyweight division. I almost said featherweight again, But we had Joseph Morales versus Alibi Idris, and Morales was the underdog in this one by quite a bit, I think. And when I was actually surprised by the way this turned around and went, because I just kept hearing about Idris being the one that was just, I mean, it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to win. That's kind of the way everyone made it seem. So when it turned out the other way around with Morales getting the win, especially the way he did, I was surprised. And I mean, it was a pretty good fight to watch for being the finale. So, and then being that I did not watch the rest of the season, you know, that was kind of my first introduction to, you know, what these guys had to offer. So it wasn't a bad fight to watch, honestly. I'm trying to get to this page here real quick. Okay, yeah, so Morales was a plus 350 and Idris was a minus 455. So that was a pretty big difference in the odds there. But Joseph Morales gets the submission win in the second round. And as you can see, he got some nice shots in on Idris, and in the second round he winds up getting a triangle choke submission and gets him out of there, and he's now the Ultimate Fighter winner. So I heard Dana White talk about the fact that he thinks Idris is a damn good fighter, and he says that he has a lot to offer the UFC, so he's still planning on signing him and keeping him on the roster to give him a chance to see what else he can do. Just because you lose Ultimate Fighter doesn't mean you're not a good fighter. It just means it wasn't your day. Your opponent had a better day. He was the better man on that night. So we've seen plenty of Ultimate Fighter runner-ups and just guys that got out early in the Ultimate Fighter come back and become champs, or at least high-level contenders. So you can't ever count anybody out that's in the Ultimate Fighter. They all got to that show for a reason. And even though that show isn't as popular as it used to be, it still puts out some decent fighters, and you know, you're still getting up and coming talent regardless. So, and while I may not have watched the whole thing, I heard about some here and there, and I'm just glad to hear Dana White saying that Idris is still getting a chance. So moving on to the next fight, we had the first women's fight of the night, and this one was controversial for sure because of the ending, because of the way the decision went. So it did go all 3 rounds. Go figure with the women. They reverted back to the decision making or decision having fights that they usually have. But Karine Silva versus Dione Barboza. I don't know why I'm having trouble with that name today. But I mean, this was a back and forth fight, but it seemed like Barboza was getting the best of Silva overall. I mean, Silva had her moments as well, and I mean, obviously because Silva gets the win, I put up, you know, the pictures that compliment what she did. As you can see, she, you know, had some submission attempts and got some good, you know, some decent punches in, but you know, it wasn't the most exciting fight, but it was an interesting fight to watch. And I felt like Barboza was definitely on top for most of the fight here, and I felt like at the end of every round you're kind of just like, I feel like Barboza got that round, but I mean, it could have gone either way maybe, and maybe that's why it did wind up going in the way of Silva. I don't know, Terzi, if you were there from the get-go, but I kind of wondered what it was like in there for this fight, because on TV it was, I don't know, just like I said, it was kind of back and forth, and it was kind of hard to tell sometimes, but I thought Barboza got the best of Silva. And in turn, I mean, even I don't know, it could be the edits, it could be the meme making that they do, but you know, it did seem like Joe Rogan was pretty damn surprised by that decision going that way. So who knows? I saw a lot of chatter online about the fact that Silva just kind of got away with that one. So in the end, she gets the win regardless, and Barboza takes the L. And you know, it is what it is. Nothing crazy there, but it did seemingly was kind of a robbery. But that's really it for that one. So next up, we had yet another Barboza, Edson Barboza versus Drakkar Klose. So man, You know, I saw some talk about Barboza being kind of done and washed up and you know, just lackluster with everything. And you know, because I know Edson as being Edson, you know, just the guy with the spinning wheel kick, you know, mid-range fighter, get some good wins, and we see some good highlight reels, you know, coming from him. But it hasn't really been that way in a while. So I guess in the end, I can understand that maybe he's on the last leg of his career. Let's see, how old is Barboza? I think he's in his late 30s. He's 39. So I mean, it might be about time to stop trying to fight these younger dudes. Drakkar Klose is not that much younger, but he's 37. So he's not that much younger. And he does have a really awkward style of fighting. So it was kind of just tough. I mean, if you even just look at this punch that you see on the right hand picture, even his kick is awkward. But you know what? He got the job done. He gets a unanimous decision win. Barboza got beat the fuck up. Both his eyes were swollen. Both sides of his face were swollen. And, you know, Klose didn't even look like he was hitting him that hard, honestly. So I just think that Barboza's just at that point where he can't hang with the level of fighters that are in the UFC anymore. And it's unfortunate because I just remember the spinning wheel kick knockouts that Barboza had so many times, and just all the exciting fights, you know. And I hate to start talking about them as they're done, but it just, Barboza's performances in his past few fights just have not been great. So this puts him on a 2-fight losing streak. He last lost to Lerone Murphy. It was a fight of the night there, so that was a hard fought one. Before that, he went to a unanimous decision win and also got another fight of the night there with Sadiq Youssef. But I mean, these guys are the guys that he should be beating, kind of, I feel like. I mean, I know Lerone Murphy being undefeated, that one's tough. Younger guy. So with Barboza being the age he is, yeah, I don't, but he still took him to a fight of the night, so I guess I can't talk too much shit. He got a win over Billy Q, and that was also a performance of the night. So he had 3 bonuses going into this fight, which is insane. I didn't even pay attention to that. But you know, he's gone on these let's see, he was, oh my god, look at, from 2017 he has 2 losses, a win, and then 3 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, now 2 losses again. That's kind of how it's gone for him. And regardless of who he's beating or losing to, he just can't seem to string it together. And that's why, it just seems like he's taken too much damage. That's kind of the gist of it all. He's taken too much damage, and I feel like it's affecting the way he fights, because as soon as he starts getting hit, it probably feels like a balloon is blowing up in his face and his head. It just seems like he shows the damage quickly, and it's crazy. Even though he's not getting, you know, manhandled per se, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's about that time for Barboza to start thinking about what he's doing next, or, you know, I don't know what his contract looks like. I don't really like to call guys out to say that they need to retire, and I don't think he's fully at that spot. But I mean, he's 18-13 in the UFC. Yes, it's a winning record, but that's a lot of fights and a lot of fucking losses in the UFC. And I just explained how the pattern of wins and losses go for him. But you know, coming into this fight, he did have 3 bonuses, so it's kind of making me sound like a liar here if you just look at the surface level. But when you really pay attention to those fights, he's just not the Barboza he used to be. And I feel like he should be getting more wins than he is, but who knows? He still has a chance to turn it around. Maybe he gets a couple more years out of his career. But as for Drakkar Klose, he gets a win over a decent name that we all know. And Drakkar just can't put it together either. It seems like he's had, like, I don't know, I think it was weight cutting issues, but he's had a bunch of fights get canceled for one reason or another. I thought at one point he had a weight cutting issue, but if you remember back in 2023, he got that performance of the night bonus for that slam KO, which, you know, we just saw Elijah Smith do one of those. Drakkar Klose did one that was a little bit different. The guy was going for like an armbar or something, and he picked him up from the side and slammed Joe Selecki on the side of his head and knocked him clean out. So that shit was exciting for sure. After that, he beat Joaquim Silva. That was in the middle of his 4-fight win streak, where 2 out of those 4 fights he got bonuses. But then he met Joel Alvarez and caught a flying knee and got TKO'd in his last fight. And now he beat Edson Barboza by unanimous decision. So we'll see where he goes next. You know, he's getting up there in age as well, and he's not been able to like really jump into that contention or you know, into being a contender. So it's hard to say what's up with Jakar Close and what he's gonna do next. But I'm sure after beating Barboza, maybe they look at getting him someone just a bit higher, even in levels of competition for Close. So that's it for that. Let's move on to Anthony Alexander Hernandez versus Chase Hooper. And man, everyone, I wouldn't say it was like a whole everyone was super high on Chase Hooper, but most people were picking Chase Hooper to win against Alexander Hernandez. And Hernandez, you know, caught him in the first round and gave him a TKO loss with 2 seconds left in the first round. There's a few of those kind of fights on this night. But yeah, Chase Hooper, man, he went down hard. Like, that punch just really fucking caught him and dropped him, and he went down hard. So Hernandez has some power in those hands. Chase Hooper isn't the biggest dude in the world, but yeah, that put Alexander Hernandez on a 3-fight win streak. He had gotten a split decision win over Austin Hubbard, a unanimous decision win over Kurt Holobaugh, and then now he got the TKO win in the first round over Chase Hooper. So that's a good bounce back after having a 2-fight losing streak where he lost 2 decisions to Bill Algeo and Damon Jackson. So he's on a good little streak right now, and with that TKO win, you know, at least it was a nice finish, and against somebody like Chase Hooper, who's kind of awkward and difficult to fight. Hooper was on a 3-fight win streak himself, with one of those having a performance bonus, 2 submission wins and 1 decision, and now he just got stopped. So we'll see how he bounces back from this loss. But yeah, Alexander Hernandez looked pretty good and gets that first round TKO. So moving on to the next women's fight, we had Lupe Godinez versus Jessica Andrade. And yeah, this one, did I get these mixed up? Was it this fight or the Silva fight that everyone was like pissed about? Why am I getting these confused? Because as soon as I turned to this one, I felt like this was the one that there was an issue with, that maybe Godinez shouldn't have gotten the win. Damn it, I don't even know where to look quickly to find out. So if anybody in the chat remembers, for sure, let me know. I'm drawing a blank because these were the fucking early fights. We had so much going on in here for the watch party, and I remember everything from the main card so clearly. But this fight, it seemed like a pretty good fight from what I watched. I was a little bit in and out on this one because I had some stuff going on. I was getting things ready, and I was like running from room to room, but I had the fights on in both rooms. So I would miss a little bit here and there, but I did catch most of this. And I mean, Jessica Andrade still has some power, man. When she gets those punches going and she finds an opening, she's gonna crack you. So she definitely still has some of that power, but you know, she just can't seem to fight all the way through like she used to. She didn't look bad in this fight, but I don't feel like she still lived up to the Jessica Andrade we, you know, knew from a while back, the champion Jessica Andrade. And Lupe finds ways to lose out of nowhere. So that's what I was worried about with this one. And I wasn't sure which way it would go, because Andrade is dangerous with her hands. And I mean, she's not bad on the ground either. So she's got enough skills all around to be a threat. But with just the way that her career's been going recently, it was kind of a toss-up. But this puts Lupe Godinez on a 2-fight win streak, where she got her last win over Julie Pilastri. All 4 of her last fights have gone a unanimous decision, and 2 of them she lost. She was on a 2-fight losing streak until she fought Pilastri and got the win, and now she gets the win against Jessica Andrade. And I mean, Andrade is still, I mean, here's another fighter with a ton of fucking fights in the UFC and a ton of losses. 13 again. 17 wins, 13 losses. I mean, her, Angela Hill, we just saw Edson Barboza. There was a lot of fighters with double digits in both columns for the wins and losses on this card. It was kind of nuts. I was when I was prepping for this, I was looking at that and I'm like, wow, this is a very experience heavy card with a lot of fighters that have had a lot of fights in the UFC. This puts Jessica Andrade on a 3-fight losing streak. So that's tough, especially when she went on a 3-fight losing streak back in 23. But I mean, those are big names that she lost to: Erin Blanchfield, Yan Xiaonan, and Tatiana Suarez. She came back and won 2 in a row against Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez with a performance against Mackenzie. And now she's on a 3-fight losing streak where she got a fight of the night bonus against Natalia Silva, which that was a crazy fight. But then she lost in the first round to Jasmine Jasdavicius in her last fight and before this one. And now she lost to Lupi Godinez. So, I mean, I don't know who they're going to give her next. That's a tough one because let's see what the rankings look like. I know they're going to change on Tuesday, but I always like to take a look and see where she's at. So currently she's at number 9. And let's see, where is, I'm trying to find Lupi Godinez. Is she even ranked? Godinez isn't even ranked. She will be now because Jessica Andrade was ranked number 9. So let me just make sure. Am I missing? No, I'm not missing it. She's not there. No, she's not there. That's women's flyweight. Okay, well, she might take Jessica Andrade's spot at number 9 now. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, if Andrade drops down, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know who she would fight next, really. Because if she drops out of the top 15, at the bottom we have Eduardo Mora and JJ Aldridge and Wang Kong, which I guess she could fight any of them just to try to get herself back in there. We'll see where she winds up with the rankings. I guess that's what it's best to wait for that and see what happens. Then we can make some matchups. But yeah, Jessica Andrade gets the loss to Lupi Godinez. Next up, we have an exciting one: Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus GM3 Gerald Meerschaert. So this was a first round finish as well, and Mikhail Oleksiejczuk just fucking he just abused the shit out of Gerald Meerschaert. Gets him by TKO, as you can see here. Good body shots, dropped him, gets the ground and pound and finishes him 3 minutes into the first round. And I mean, that's really all there is to say. Gerald Meerschaert just did not look like he didn't know what to do in there against Oleksiejczuk, another Fighting Nerds team member. I mean, shit, that camp is doing him well. That puts him at 16 KO TKO wins. He's 9-7 in the UFC now, and that puts him on a 2-fight win streak. His last win being against Cedric Dumas, or Dumas. That's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't say it. But he's the one that got arrested and then couldn't get the ankle monitor off in time to fight, so he had to cancel his fight. Anyway, Oleksiejczuk was on a 3-fight losing streak before he beat Dumas, and he had a fight of the night against Shara Bullet, lost to Kevin Holland, and lost to Michelle Pereira. So those are big names. He's trying to make his way back up there, and he's getting it really started here with this big win against GM3. And then I kept seeing people saying that GM3's walking in the cage and having to watch highlights of himself getting knocked out by Khamzat Chimaev, which is pretty sad. But look at, I mean, GM3's record is 12-12. Yet another double digits in both columns, and now he's a 500 fighter. 3 losses in a row: RDR, Brad Tavares, and Mikhail Oleksiejczuk now. So that is tough. He's got to get a win, man. I don't see them cutting him just yet, but I think if he gets another loss here, he might get cut. Well, we'll see. Before those 3 losses, he did have 2 wins in a row. Brian Barberena and a performance of the night bonus win against Edmund Shabazian. But before that, he was on a 2 fight losing streak. Those were 2 grappling. So yeah. Man, now he extends it to 3. Bacon Bits, what's up? Welcome in. Appreciate you for jumping in. How'd you enjoy the fights? Did you get the outcomes you wanted? We're just in the middle of talking about the prelims right now. Mikel Execha getting the TKO win over Gerald Mearshart. It was a good one. That was a fun one to watch, honestly. Unless you're a GM3 fan, because then it was tough. So that brings us to the featured prelim. The Dana White Contender Series fighter that fought 4 days before this event and then just raises his hand and says, I'll take a fight on the fight on Saturday. Lost my parlay because of Chase Hooper. Damn. But great fights all around. Yeah, that sucks. I had a parlay. I bet for the first time in a while. Big night for the underdogs is 100% correct. Especially that Tim Elliott one, man. Holy shit. We'll get to that here soon, but damn. But yeah, I had Tim Elliott killed my first parlay. And then I just had a 2-leg parlay with the underdogs for the co-main and the main, because I was like, man, I don't know if I can count DDP out, so I'm gonna bet on him. And I'm thinking, 2-leg parlay with underdog fights, you can win some decent money. I'm not putting down a ton, but whatever, I'm in the plus, right? And I was all happy at the end of the watch party thinking that I won money, and I forgot that I bet on DDP. I didn't bet on Chimaev. In my head, I'm thinking DDP is going to win, so if Chimaev wins, then that's good. But I actually fucking bet on DDP, so I didn't win the money I thought I won. But I'm used to it, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm used to fucking not getting the win when I bet. As Infinity always says, bet against me. But my first one was I thought I was going with the fight wheel, but it looks like I didn't. I was doing it off of memory, and I actually got one of those fights wrong. Still wasn't that Asakura fight though. Even the fight wheel randomly predicted that Asakura was gonna win that fight. So yeah, this was the let me see, Bysinger Susakairev versus Eric Nolan. And I thought I heard Dana talk about Eric Nolan also being kept and having him hang around as well, because he liked the way he fought. He liked that he hung in there. And while Susakairev really, put a good show on, it was a tough fight. They both took it on short notice, and Susakairev gets the rear naked choke, as you see in that right hand picture, 2 minutes into the second round. But Eric Nolan put up a good fight. I put a 5-leg and lost on Hooper and Asakura. I'm just happy I didn't miss by only one. Yeah, man. My first one I did miss by only one, because I guessed all the rest right, except I had Chimaev. Oh no, I'm sorry. I had Tim Elliott. No, I had Asakura, and then Elliott killed it for me. So that parlay died quickly. But yeah, Susakairev with that fucking quick turnaround, 2 wins in less than a week. I don't know that that's ever been done, or if it has been, it's been a while. I think that we just heard about Chimaev fighting 2 times in a week, but I think it was less days in between than this fight even was, because it was from one weekend to the other when Susakairev fought on Tuesday and then turns around and fights on Saturday. It's impressive shit, man, especially to come out and win both times. Let's see, how did he win? And I think he won quick. Oh, it was that body kick in the Contender Series, round 1 3 minutes in, and then he gets to the second round in this one 2 minutes in and gets the win there. So now, speaking of Tim Elliott and Kai Asakura, I have a missing picture. Let me go see what happened here. Somehow I missed that one, but there it is. He hurt him with a body kick in this fight too. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's got those kicks, man. Those kicks are fucking killer for him. And then that ground game that he has as well. Shit, That's definitely going to get him somewhere. I mean, obviously Eric Nolan isn't like the highest level of competition, but he's just getting in there. You got to look impressive against the lower level guys, and then you start working your way into that higher, like the mid-tier level, and then if you keep it up there, that's when everybody gets real excited. But as of right now, he's got a lot of clout around him, being what he just did in the past week with the Contender Series, and then being a part of Chimaev's team, being a teammate and shit. He's already got some clout around him, so he can do big things. We'll see if he keeps it up. But yeah, those body kicks for him are damn good. And on top of that ground game, I mean, he's got a lot of pressure. He's got a lot of skills. So anyway, Tim Elliott versus Kaya Sakura. Holy shit, man. Second round, 4 minutes and 39 seconds into the second round, and Tim Elliott pulls out the fucking submission out of nowhere. I mean, I actually couldn't believe the work that he put in the first round, because I wasn't expecting much. And Kaya Sakura, I was like, okay, he's already been through his first UFC fight, and that was an intense amount of pressure coming in, fighting for the title right away, never having fought in the UFC before. You got a lot of people don't believe in it, but there's the UFC jitters going on. And he said himself, I wasn't used to the way the UFC works. And it's just a different thing. In my opinion, Elliott could have won this fight real quick if he took him down earlier. Seemed like he was just playing with him for most of the fight. Asakura definitely did not work on his ground game. No, and Tim Elliott has a damn good ground game, so you can't, I mean, as you can see just by the way he's wrapped up on Asakura in that picture where he's submitting him, figured he would work on his ground game after Pantoja. Pantoja's just another level too. He's just a different kind of animal. Pantoja just doesn't give up, and he just keeps pressing forward with that, with the fucking grappling and wrestling, and then even his striking. It's like Pantoja's just different. But yeah, Tim Elliott's one of those guys that will stick to you like a fucking leech, and that's just what I think of when I see, he got Asakura's back a couple times, and he was backpacking that shit, and I was like, damn, it doesn't look like Asakura is going to be able to get out of this one. So Tim Elliott's just still got some fire under his ass, no matter how old he is. I think he's close to 40 now himself, and he's 38. You don't usually see guys at that age in the lower level, the lower weight classes, continuing with the speed the way that he has. Speed is usually the first thing to go when it comes to age. The power sticks around, the speed goes quick. And Tim Elliott still had some fucking speed on him, man, looking like the old school Dominic Cruz with the awkward head movement and footwork. Moving half his body one way and the other half another way. It's some awkward shit, but it works. Asakura couldn't get a beat on him and really do anything. And like Bacon Bit said, he probably could have finished him in the first round had he taken him down or used some more of that wrestling. But he did fuck around for a bit. I think he was a little bit worried about the length and the length of Asakura, and the fact that he takes a lot of those flying attacks. So with Elliott being as short as he is, he might have been worried about the flying knee or something. Maybe that's why he took him in. And when he realized that he was stifling everything that Asakura had to put out there, he probably got into the second round with more confidence and was like, hey, let's get this shit done. And that's when he started doing everything he normally would. And man, that speed, that footwork, that head work, yeah, if he keeps that up, he's definitely got a better chance than what I had seen from him before, where he was kind of struggling. His record in the UFC is 10-11, yet another double digits in both, but he's been on like win-loss type shit. So yeah, it's been a while since he was on a losing streak. He's only had one in between, but he hasn't been on a winning streak either since 2021. So it's always win-loss. So we'll see who he gets next. Oh no, he did have 2 wins in a row. I'm sorry, that one loss is a grappling loss. So this makes his second win in a row. Tapology puts these fucking grappling ones in there. Throws me off every time. So I got to pay attention to that UFC on the side, because he fought an ABI and he lost. But now he's got 2 wins in a row, because he's coming off a win over Sumandarji, where he also got a performance of the night bonus there, like he did on this one against Kaya Sakura. So that's 2 wins in a row, both by submission, and both getting performance of the night bonuses. So that's a damn good thing for Tim Elliott, and I should have never doubted him. But you know what? Kai Asakura being who he is, fuck. I felt like I expected more from him, and now all that confidence is gone. Next fight for Asakura, I don't care who it is. I'm going to be like, I'm fading him. That's all there is to it. I feel like all these fighters coming in from different promotions, getting hyped up, then losing horribly shows how the UFC is just an entirely different level of MMA. Fuck yeah, man. You said that. You hit that right in the head. That's exactly what it seems like. That's exactly how I feel as well. These guys coming in. We're going to talk about one in a minute, Aaron Pico. They're just either having some bad luck or legitimately what we've always said, the UFC is just a different level of competition. And that's why when people are trying to say that Lerone Murphy being 16-0, I went on a tangent on this last show too, because I'm like 16-0. And you think Aaron Pico not fighting the level of competition that Lerone Murphy's fought? He's half of those 16 wins being undefeated has been in the UFC. So he's been fighting here. He's been here. And everybody wanted to fade him like he was nothing. It's like, what the fuck? He's the underdog against a guy coming in from another organization, which no one's done well coming in this year, much less in the past year. Like, come on, man. That shit was dumb. So, I don't know. We'll get to that fight in a minute. But yeah, Asakura is a victim of that same shit. Comes in. Asakura's debut was a title shot. He got finished. Then he still got ranked number 15. Yeah, you know, that's that bullshit of, oh, well, he fought for the title. He fought the hardest guy. And yeah, and he looked like shit. If he fought him in a really great close fight, sure, rank him. I don't care. But dude, he fought like shit. He fought like shit. He looked like shit. And he said it himself. He wasn't used to the way the UFC worked. Obviously, it's his first fucking UFC fight. It's way different than everything else. The lights are brighter, the fucking competition's tougher, and the crowds are maybe crazier in certain ways. To be fair, Pico got caught. He looked way better than Patchy and Pitbull. I'll give him that. For sure. And that's what I was going to get to when I cover that one. Where are we at right now? Elliott? Yeah, we got a couple fights to go before we get there. But I agree with you on that one, Bacon Bits. But yeah, Kai Asakura, he doesn't look like a can, but he just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. And I expected more from him. Nobody had Tim Elliott winning that fight off the rip. Like, there's no way. Sure, live betting odds will probably turn after the first couple minutes of the first round, but nobody went into that fight thinking Tim Elliott's getting this win. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Anyway, moving on. Another a bit lackluster fight, I think, because while it looks like there's some good action according to these visuals here, yes, MVP landed on Cannonier, and he kind of dropped him twice. I think the second time was a little more of a push punch than it was an actual full strike that was flush and actually, you know, rocked Cannonier, but he did get dropped. Regardless, and it was with a punch. It was just like a, you know, land and push by the face kind of punch. It was a little bit awkward, a little bit weird, but really, when it comes down to it, MVP was fucking around. It reminded me of Anderson Silva leading up to getting knocked out by Chris Weidman, where everything he did he thought was great, so he was just showboating. And he felt invincible in there, and that leads to some shit. But this is the kind of shit MVP has done his whole career, win or lose. But when he got into the UFC, he hadn't really been doing that kind of shit. This one was kind of boring. I didn't think Cannonier got a single clean strike on MVP in the stand-up. I think he got one. And I'm not even bullshitting. That sounds like a joke just to be funny. But I think he got one. So same, right? I did feel like he caught him once. Nothing too significant though. And yeah, MVP was just playing around, man. I feel like if he really would have locked in, yeah, sure, play around a couple times, but he kept doing the dribble between the legs bullshit. He kept doing, you know, he rocks Cannonier, and instead of jumping on him, he takes a step back, he watches Cannonier stumble, and then he goes like, he looks at him and he goes, hey, let's calm down here. It's all right. Let's calm down. It's like, what the fuck? No, you shouldn't be calming down. You should be going in for the kill. Why are you fucking around? And then to wind up with a goddamn decision when that happened in what, early second round or the first round? Yeah, it might have been late first round. I can't remember at this point. Because honestly, I was pissed off after that. I was just kind of like, this sucks, dude. MVP, what are you doing? Like, get those highlight wins. You got him rocked. You could have fucking spinning back kick, fucking crazy flying knee. Do some of that shit that you usually do when you got somebody rocked. You had him rocked. He's fucking drunk trying to walk towards you. And you don't, and you tell him to calm down and you fucking give him time to recover. That was just dumb shit, bro. Fucking dumb shit, bro. Like, I don't know. That's all I gotta say. It was kind of annoying, man. But you know, MVP can still be entertaining. It's just, I feel like that's all he's trying to do is be entertaining, when it's like, focus on winning the fight in a big way, and nothing's more entertaining than a highlight reel knockout. Nothing's more entertaining than that shit. And he got a lot of those in Bellator. So MVP was paying homage to Michael Jordan with those dribbles. Yeah, I mean, it just reminded me of, you know, Sugar Sean when he was doing that against Moutinho, and who else? He did it against somebody else too. But I've seen a lot of people doing that lately. So, but I get it. Yeah, they're in Chicago. Michael Jordan, I get it. Makes sense. But it's like, oh, do it once or twice, and then that's it, you know? You don't have to keep doing that shit. So I just wanted him to keep fighting. He had him rocked. He dropped him twice, and he still winds up with a decision. Does that really, does that really give the credit to Cannonier being tough? Yes, Cannonier's tough. But if MVP would have jumped on him instead of holding back on that first knockdown, the second one, I'm not sure it was a true knockdown. I don't think he had him wobbled. But he did knock him backwards and he fell, so it's a knockdown, I guess. But yeah, I just feel like MVP could have really put the division on notice with a big win against Cannonier, and he held back and fucked around. So we'll see what he has coming up next. Moving on to some real exciting shit. The Fighting Nerds, and I debuted our some little what do you call them? Whatever, some props. And I went ahead and got the guys some Fighting Nerds glasses. I got the other two here. We threw them on for Carlos Prates because the other two members of the Fighting Nerds fought earlier in the night. So of course we had Prates being the most notable one of the night anyway, one of the OGs from the Fighting Nerds, coming out smoking cigarettes and all. Actually, he didn't smoke till after, but you know, we all know how he gets down for training and shit. Back-to-back spinning elbow, exactly. So he gets us going with those back-to-back spinning elbows, because in the very last seconds of the first round, after him and Jeff Neal go at it for the first round, Prates looked pretty good. Neal was hanging in there, you know, but damn, at the end of the first round, Prates comes in with a spinning back elbow, and just, it looked like he grazed him. But when you watch it again from a different angle, just full on clips Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal falls back out flat. As we see the ref run over to him and check him, he starts to wave him off, and then we hear the buzzer, and it's like, damn, that's crazy. So right at the very fucking end, I almost thought they were calling time, and I was like, even if Jeff Neal can get up right now, I don't know if they're gonna let him keep fighting with how he looked out. I mean, he was like, his head bounced. He fell so fast. Yeah, he did have a dramatic kind of see, and that's why I was also kind of like, did he kind of throw himself back, like make it worse type shit, because it didn't look like it really hit him that hard. But no, I mean, the different angle of that was just, fuck, it was a good one. It was a good one. I made a TikTok about it too, so if you haven't followed me on TikTok, if you're on there, go check it out. Right on the tempo. I thought it was crazy how similar this was to the one in the next fight. I think that was Neal's first time getting KO too. I think you're right, actually. I was gonna check that because I did remember hearing about that. And oh wait, did I pass it? No, he's gotten TKO'd before, so that's his second one in that. So he's been finished on the ground and on the feet. So I thought I heard that a couple times earlier today too. So maybe it's the first time in the UFC that he's gotten stopped on the feet. He's gotten subbed by Shavkat Rakhmonov. Let's see, his other losses are decisions. Oh yeah, so his other TKO loss was to Kevin Holland outside of the UFC in XKO 34. So that's his first time getting finished on the feet in the UFC. Maybe that's what everybody was talking about. Either way, Carlos Prates looking like the OG that he is, and then or maybe it was just the first time he got put out like that. That might have been it too. It looked like a TKO by Kevin Holland. So this one was like a full-on KO, right? That's what that would be considered for sure. Prates gets a performance of the night bonus, obviously, for this one. And yeah, that might have just been the first time he's been knocked out cold. So Jeff Neal unfortunately loses in the last seconds of the first round. At least it wasn't the last seconds of the fight, because that's a little harder to deal with. But he's fucking 1-3 in his last 4. But he beat Rafael Dos Anjos because Dos Anjos got injured. But then before that, he lost twice. Once to Ian Machado Gary, once to Shavkat Rakhmonov. So hasn't had a great streak going on. He needs to get back in there and get some big wins. But it was a fun fight to watch. It was a crazy ending to that fight. And then that leads us into yet another crazy fight. And again, like we said, back-to-back fucking spinning back elbow KOs. You don't see that shit often. You don't see the spinning back elbow as a knockout very often either. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like the welterweight division is the best division right now. So many threats. 100%, man. Yeah. I mean, I heard someone kind of breaking that down a little bit earlier. And I agree. The welterweight division is the one right now. The middleweights are, we had Bilal take over, and then you have Jack Della, two guys that aren't like insanely popular, I guess, for the most part. People hate Bilal so much. And then Jack Della, I haven't heard a lot of hype around it. It's just kind of like, hey, he beat the guy everybody wanted out of there, so cool. But I mean, I'm looking forward to the next fight for JDM. I mean, I like him. I just don't ever hear a lot of hype or a lot of anything going around about Jack Della. So Jack Della welterweight. No, he's middleweight, right? No, oh shit, no, you're right. What am I talking about? Yeah, I was thinking dude, I'm tired, man. Holy shit, I can't believe I just completely fucked that one up. No, you're right, because we just watched the middleweight. Fuck. Yeah, I was thinking yeah, whatever. You're right. Jack Della is welterweight. That's the thing, though. I don't hear a lot about him. That was the point I was getting at. Regardless. So yeah, there's a lot of threats, but it's because it's hard to believe he's the champ right now, honestly. Bilal being the champ before. So it's like, I want to see Jack do something crazy. I feel like that's gonna really put him out there. Ian Gary, Shavkat, Carlos Prates, MVP, Shara, crazy division right now. Yeah, I doubt MVP a lot. And Shara didn't look that great in his last fight either. And then that's coming off a loss. Wait, what did Shara do in his last fight? Did he get a finish? Maybe I'm thinking of the loss. Whatever. Anyway, I doubt MVP a lot, especially just watching how he fought in this one. And Shavkat, for some reason, I said maybe I was thinking that Shavkat has to get healthy for one, and have bad things stop happening to him around him, because there's just been a black cloud over Shavkat since his last win. And yeah, that's got to get cleared up, because man, he was right there ready to go to fight for that title, and then he got injured, and then this other stuff happened, and yeah, it's crazy. He just needs to clear his life up, not because he's fucking up, but just bad shit just keeps happening to him. So hopefully he gets that cleared up, because he's definitely the one to look at there. Ian Gary, we've seen him a little bit of up and down, and not fighting the way he was initially, but I'm still excited to watch him fight always. Something with Khamzat, he could have been champ years ago. Oh, same thing with Khamzat. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the road that I see Shavkat going down right now. It's going to be like 2 or 3 years down the road before we really see him like get a title shot and have potential to even win, because he needs to just get back in there, and everything seems to be holding him back from doing that. But yeah, Prates, you know, everyone was wondering what was going to happen after getting, you know, fucking losing. But he bounced back in a big way with that win. And so now we got Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Yet another fighter who comes in from another organization, highly touted, bunch of hype around him, and he fucking loses. And he loses bad. I mean, real bad. We're talking first round. Earlier than Prates knocked out Neal, and everyone was thinking Aaron Pico was going to go in there and get a big win, counting out Lerone Murphy, who, like I said earlier in the takeaways, it's like, how you going to count out the 16-0 fighter who's fought half of those fights in the UFC? He's got the experience. He knows what it's like to fight in the UFC. He knows the level of competition. And you got Aaron Pico, who ran through a little bit of a rough patch after being like full on super, you know, protege, like really hyped, you know, high level wrestling, great boxing. But, you know, he comes into the UFC with Lerone has proven himself for sure. Crazy that he was an underdog. Yeah, and to be the type of underdog, I mean, as big of an underdog as he was, it's just stupid. Well, he wasn't that big. It wasn't that big, but it's, I just can't believe that he was the underdog. It's insane. Being undefeated usually, people usually make more of that than it actually is. But for Lerone, I think he's just quiet, man. I think he's just quiet. I think that he just hasn't fought the real high level, exciting fights. But this one kind of put him on the map, I think. With everybody counting him out, he gets a big win like this with the spinning back elbow to Aaron Pico. And Aaron Pico was way more out than fucking Jeff Neal was. He had his teeth clenched. They were trying to take the damn mouthpiece out of his mouth, and he had his teeth clenched. They couldn't even get it out. That's how fucking locked up he was. It was kind of scary for a minute, man. So, but it was exciting as shit to watch, I'll tell you that. I did Lerone as a, oh yeah, Lerone getting fucking shot in the face and some other shit happening to him. He has a crazy story for sure. But yeah, so like that's what makes me happy for him, man. He just seems like such a quiet, humble dude, and then he comes out and gets a nasty win like this. It's a good one for him, man. I hope to see him just continue on and get some more big wins. So hopefully he gets a good opponent and he keeps it up, because man, 9-0 in the UFC, 17-0 overall. Like shit, somebody's got to come stop him, because he can just keep going. And we'll see if that happens, because it's definitely something to look out for and watch, because I don't know about anybody else, but I kind of forget about Lerone Murphy, and maybe that's why he was the underdog. But I still think it's crazy, and I still think that he proved a point. I think this is a featherweight division, right? Yes, featherweight, 145. You're right. So yeah, I just feel like maybe that's why people were counting him out, but I think he showed and proved why you can't forget about him and you can't count him out, and you can't just serve him up some overhyped guy that everyone thinks is going to come in and just dispatch of you. So he definitely stood his ground, and he did a damn good job with that fight. So good on Lerone Murphy. That brings us to the main event. Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. And I mean, so like I was saying earlier, the biggest thing about this is everyone's upset about the kind of tactics that Chimaev took to win, which it's what he does anyway, right? But we've seen him knock people out. We've seen him maul people and submit them. We've seen him do all this crazy shit, and he's always been sought after for, you know, fighting someone to fight. Because he's exciting and he's a fan favorite. A lot of people like him, but you know, he had all the crazy health scares, and he about retired. He actually said he retired, and then it was like, no, I'm gonna try to get healthy. But man, he was ready to be done because of the health issues and then the visa issues, and finally he gets into the US for the first time in this manner and is able to fight for the title. He's been here for a while, and so nothing was going to hold him back. There was all the rumors and jokes and pranks being pulled, saying that he was sick and possibly pulling out of the fight. Everyone you know, just trolling. And yeah, he made it to the fight. He came out, he looked good, he took it seriously, and he fucking just annihilated DDP on the ground. He couldn't do anything on his feet. I mean, DDP forgot what it was like to stand up at one point in time. I was like, I didn't, you know, I kept making jokes about him spending a lot of time on his knees and being used to that, but that's just, you know, if you follow the lore and the crazy shit from DDP's kind of past leading up, you know why that's a funny joke. DDP too little too late. Yeah, I mean, he had some success in that 5th round, but I don't know that he would have really gotten anywhere. Maybe that was finally when Chimaev was slowing down, but everyone said if it gets past the 2nd or the 3rd round, no way it's gonna get to the 4th round and fucking and Khamzat's still gonna have a chance to win because he's gonna be gassed and blah 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 blah. And I said it myself, just in the way that it's a possibility because we've kind of seen it in the past. But the thing is we saw the same shit with DDP, and then he got his nose surgery and we found out that that's what was holding him back. So long drawn out beating, yeah, that's what DDP usually likes, but not this time. I'm just kidding, I'm sorry, I have too many fucking jokes for DDP. Oh man. But I gotta stop, it's fucked up. But yeah, it's just he couldn't stand up. He couldn't. Chimaev wouldn't let. The thing that really pissed me off though, is Chimaev with the little pot shots while he's got him in a crucifix every fucking time he did. Every time he did it, I mean, he might as well just been flicking him in the forehead, because he's just throwing. I mean, I didn't like fighters like Khamzat because they're boring, but you have to give them their flowers. This is MMA after all. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I can't argue with that at all, nor would I want to, because I feel the same way. It is MMA, and the thing is I understand why people get bored, and I understand why they say it's boring, and I understand why they don't like it. But if you look at the technical aspect of everything, this wasn't 100% that. It wasn't the manner of why he was so dominant, but I do feel like he led up in the way that he didn't go for the finish, and I feel like he should have gone for the finish. And I don't know if he was worried about slipping up and giving DDP a chance, or if he was worried about gassing out. I don't know, but it just seemed weird that he had him in this dominant position. DDP couldn't do shit to get up, and yet he wasn't going full out with his punches, or even halfway. They were like 15-20% punches, if that. So I mean, where's the elbows at? I mean, yeah, in that middle picture you see an elbow, but it could have been done so many times. You know, the hardest I saw him hitting him was when it was questionably on the back of the head. So I don't know, that's my only critique though. Other than that, Khamzat Chimaev, hell of a fucking job. Went out there and won that title. You know, was in the US, stopped having those issues. He was healthy, didn't get sick during the camp, didn't get sick on fight week, stayed healthy, and was able to come in and be the demon fucking, you know, crazy fighter that he is. Drickus described him perfectly in the post-fight interview. He's just like a blanket. It's not even his strength, it's just the technique and aggression. Yeah, and I don't even know what to say about DDP not being able to move. Is that all credit to Chimaev, or is that a little bit of DDP just not having the fight IQ on what to do there? But if it looks to me like it's way difficult to get out of Chimaev's grip when he's got you there in that position. I mean, we've seen him finish people in the past after doing that. He takes those crazy shots. The Chechen Wolf, yeah. He takes those crazy shots from so far away. And yeah, who would have thought that, right, Tua? Chimaev in 5, that's fucking insane. But he takes those crazy shots from so far away, and it's like, that's usually some sloppy shit that you're like, why are you doing this? That's a weird shot. But he fucking tends to always be able to get a hand on a leg, an ankle, both legs, and then he drags him down to the ground and holds him there, and you can't do shit. So skill gap is 100% when it comes to the ground. fucking DDP was lost. He didn't know what to do. And again, are we discounting Chimaev by saying that DDP just doesn't know what to do down there no matter who's on him like that? Or is it really that pressure, the strength? I don't care what DDP said, the strength has something to do with it, but I guess he's just saying it's more technique and aggression, and I get that too. So all the memes about DDP were hilarious. DDP by comically large hammer. Yeah. Did you hear him repeating some of those? He's like, yeah, I might just cut a hole in the mat and hope that he falls into the abyss, and like some crazy shit like that. Those were funny as hell. Because yeah, he's that sloppy fighter. He doesn't have the true technique. Everything looks awkward and weird. You know, the famous one with him headbutting the hip of Sean Strickland, and you know, all that crazy shit, doing the Homer Simpson. But I mean, he was the champ and he defended a couple times against high level. But DDP's team were ill-equipped. Yeah, it's almost like they got comfortable. I think he got comfortable, and he was just thinking, oh, this guy, everybody fucking loves him. Everyone's calling him the boogeyman. And look, and I'm gonna go out there and show him what's up. And listen, I just kept saying that I wanted to stop betting against DDP because I kept doing that. And this one bit me in the ass, because with Fluffy Hernandez, with a couple of other fighters out there that I fade all the time, kept winning and kept proving me wrong. So I started picking them, and they've been winning. And DDP fucked that up. So it shows that Izzy really sucks on the ground. Oh man, not too much on my boy Izzy. No, I get it, man. Yeah, I mean, Izzy's never really been the ground fighter that, you know, he could be. It's the same thing, like the bar's getting higher for sure. Chimaev and Fluffy are the new standard. Yeah, dude, fuck. That's a great point, and I would love to see them fight. I always have that doubt in the back of my head with Fluffy, especially now seeing Chimaev doing what he just did. But I think Fluffy is on another level compared to DDP, and I think he would have done the same thing to DDP that fucking Chimaev did, except Fluffy likes to bang too, so I think he would have been throwing hands on the ground a lot more than Chimaev did, and I think Fluffy would have beat him with some ground and pound. I feel like DDP had those small windows where he almost locked in a choke, but he didn't get it. Yeah, the 5th round really was really it. I mean, he didn't do shit until the 5th round. And yeah, he had the openings, but again, Chimaev has that strength to get out of things. And no matter how gassed he might be, even if he was, but especially if he wasn't, he's definitely gonna have the strength to fucking get out of shit. So you can't turn it on in the 5th round. That's why I wonder if Chimaev actually, if he took it easy and took his foot off the half of gas that he was giving, or if he was actually gassed and didn't want to push it, so he, you know, left some openings. And right at the beginning of the fight too. Oh, okay. DDP with the I might have forgot about that one. Chimaev set everything up. Yeah, I mean, dude, Chimaev is just, he's a fucking, like I said, he takes those long shots and you don't think that it's worth it. You think that it's kind of a shitty shot, and he always turns it into something. So that's why he's as good as he is, and that's why he's the fucking champ now. So there's not much else you can say about it. He did his thing. He went out there. He won. He got the job done. He made DDP look bad, regardless of what the end of the fight looked like. Pick DDP up and mail him back to Switzerland. South Africa, bro. That's where he's from. So the Dutch can eat him. It's hard reading that one. I was like, what? Anyway, that's about it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Congrats to Chimaev for getting the big win, and we'll see what how DDP bounces back from this one, because I mean, he's fought a lot of the top guys already, but he's gonna have to, you know, he's gonna have to get back to that title somehow. So DDP doesn't deserve to wear a dashiki anymore. Chimaev said the belt is never going back to Africa in the press conference. Yeah, I wonder if they were to offer him a you know, not that they would, I don't think they should either, but an immediate rematch, I wonder if Chimaev would even take it. But I don't think this doesn't deserve an immediate rematch, because yeah, he just got fucking dog walked, like Bacon Bit said. DDP don't deserve to represent Africa. DDP is from Switzerland now. Okay. I see what you're saying. So yeah, that wraps it up. UFC 319 in the books. Oh shit, I messed up. Hold on, man, I got 2 songs playing. I'm getting ahead of myself. There we go. That's what I meant to do. So yeah, UFC 319 in the books. We're done with that. Next up, we have UFC Shanghai, I believe. So that one's gonna be early as shit in the morning. It's actually gonna be, I feel like Chimaev will have the belt for a long time. Shit. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I kind of feel that way, but you know, you get a little bit of perspective when you start. I think when he fights Fluffy, Fluffy's not far away, I think he'll have some trouble with that one, but that's only if Fluffy keeps it up. So, next up is that Shanghai card, and it's gonna be the main card starts at 3 a.m. here. The Year of the Wolf. Oh shit, is it? That's a weird coincidence. But yeah, Johnny Walker versus Zhang Ming Yang for the main event. Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. Holy shit, I'm excited for both of those fights. Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Suma Darji versus Kevin Borjas. Tailaki Nuraji versus Kiefer Crosby. Okay, that's your last fight on the main card. So I don't think there was a whole lot going on in the prelims. Charles Johnson versus Loner Kavanaugh. That's a good one. Zhu Rong versus Austin Hubbard. That could be good as well. Michel Pereira versus Kyle Dawkins. Not bad. Yeah. So that's what we got going on next week. Make sure you come back on Thursday. Main card at 3 a.m. Yeah. What time zone are you? I'm wearing. Oh, what time zone are you in? Mountain, what is it? Mountain Standard or some shit like that? I don't even know. It's fucking Arizona time, which is weird. We're off from everybody, so it's different. Zhang Ming Yang, I would like to see more culture elements when they go someplace nice. Kind of like what they did for UFC Noche. Yeah. Ring girls should be Chun-Li outfits. I'm not opposed. That would be dope, actually. Yeah, so anyway, that's it for me. Come back Thursday. We'll go through the preview of UFC Shanghai. We'll talk about all those fights. So yeah, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button for me, please. If you're watching this after the live, paper lanterns everywhere. We'll be just Arizona time soon as DST is over. Oh yeah, true. So yeah, come back Thursday. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Share it with somebody. Come back on Thursday. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Matua, Bacon Bits, Infinity as usual. Terzi was up in here for a little bit. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to come back. Thank you as well. And I'm out of here. Take it easy. Peace.